We've seen that Portia and Nerissa have been discussing about the various suitors, and lately they have discussed about the Duke of Saxony's nephew, who's a German. He is a drunkard, and Portia has said that no matter what, I cannot marry this particular man because he drinks a lot. So, what do, Nerissa? You place a glass of Rhenish wine on the wrong casket so that he gets tempted and he chooses the wrong casket, so that I may not have to marry him. All right. So Nerissa is saying, you need not fear, lady, the having of any of these lords. You should not fear that you have any of these lords. Means you can, the probability of having to marry these suitors, you do not need to worry about it. Now, Nerissa had not revealed the truth earlier. She first asked Portia about them. Now she is going to reveal the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? They have acquainted me with their determinations. They have made known to me what acquainted me means, made known to me what they have made known to her, their determinations. That is what they want to do, right? Which is indeed to return to their home and to trouble you with no more suit. That means when they came over here and they came to know about the lottery, they are not interested in participating in the lottery. So they have decided, what are their determinations? They have decided to return to their home. They are going to return and they are not going to trouble you. No more suit means they are not going to participate in the lottery and trouble you with their proposals, unless you may be won by some other sort other than your father's imposition. That is the condition that your father has set, the instructions or the rules that he has set. If there is some other condition, in addition to this, there is some other option available by which they can, try for your hand in marriage. If there is some other condition, then they can, talk about it. Otherwise, depending on these conditions, they are determined not to carry on their suit any further. All right, they are not going to pursue you any further. They are going to leave and return to their homes. All right, they are going to return to their homes. They are saying, if there is some other sort means if there is some other way of winning your hand in marriage in addition to your father's imposition, then only they are going to pursue for it. Otherwise, they are not going to try for this, and they are going to return home. They are not going to participate in the lottery. That is the imposition depending on the caskets. That is, they do not want to participate in the lottery of caskets. So you can relax now. Earlier, Nerissa had not told him about, told her about these suitors, this that they had decided to return. Earlier, she did not tell her, and now after asking about their about what opinion she has of them, now she has decided it. Now she has informed Portia that you are troubled by these people, so do not get troubled anymore, do not worry anymore. Why? Because they have left the idea and they want to return home. Why? Because they do not want to participate in this lottery. They want to try and under some other conditions to win your hand in marriage. Otherwise, they do not want to marry you if these conditions are imposed. So Portia is saying, if I live to be as old as Sibylla, now the Sibylla is very important, then I will die as chaste as Dinah. All right. So she's saying that now these two, you have to write about them. You must know these characters, these people, to understand what she means by this line. So you underline Sibylla and write down. Underline Sibylla. Write down. Sibylla was granted wish. Sibylla was granted a wish by goddess Apollo. When you write goddess Apollo, G would be capital and A would be capital. All right. So she's a prophetess in a classical legend, and she was granted a wish by goddess Apollo. And this wish was a promise that the years of her life, a promise that the years of her life should be as numerous as numerous as the grains, as numerous as the grains of sand of sand she was holding in her hand. Sand she was holding in her hand. She was holding in her hand. I'm repeating. The Sibylla is a prophetess of classical legend who was granted a wish by goddess Apollo. This wish was that she was promised that the years of her life would be as numerous as the grains of sand while she was holding, which she was holding in her hand. So this Sibylla, she went to goddess Apollo and she asked for a wish. So and what was that wish? She said that I am holding this grain in this sand in my hand. My hand is full of sand. So grant me the years of my life as the same number of years as there are grains of sand in my hand. So can you count the grains of sand? You cannot count the grains of sand. They are uncountable. So that means she was granted uncountable number of years to her life. That means she is supposed to live a very long life, or we can say that she became immortal. All right. It was believed that she became immortal, but there is a twist in this legend, that is, she asked for eternal life, right? But she forgot to ask for eternal youth. So what happened? As years went by, she started aging, all right, and shrinking with age. So she started withering and shrinking and shrinking, and then she was reduced to the size of an insect, and she was kept in a jar. So it is believed that she is still alive, and she is the size of an insect, and she is living in a jar. All right. So over here, Portia is referring to her just to say that if she becomes immortal, or she gets, an eternal life, then what would be the case? Or if she gets to live a very long life, then what would be the case? I will die as chaste as Dinah. So now who's Dinah? We'll talk about her. Underline Dinah and write goddess, goddess of hunting, goddess of hunting, and a symbol of virginity. Virginity. Or you can say, just put an oblique and write emblem of chastity. Emblem of chastity. That means if you have to talk about someone of good character, then you can, she is the best in that regard. If you want to talk about character wise, about the character of a person, then she is best regarded, best in that case. All right. Portia is saying that if I get to live a long life, a life similar to Sibylla, even then I am going to die as pure and clean as Dinah. All right, my character would remain as clean as Dinah's. All right. Under what conditions? Unless I be obtained by the manner of my father's will. That is, if my father's will is followed, then it is fine. But if my father's will is not followed, then I am ready to die as pure as Dinah. That is, no man is ever going to even touch me. I'm not going to marry. I'm not going to have any relationship, even if I get to live a long life like the life of Sibylla, if my father's will is not followed. Nerissa said in the above lines that these suitors want some other way of, pursuing you for marriage. So she's saying that there is no other way. If my father's will is to be followed, then it is fine. If it is not to be followed, then I will not marry at all. In simple words, she want to say this, that if my father's will is not followed, then I will not marry at all. Tell them that they can go away. All right. So to just intensify her words and make them of worth, she has used all these allusions and said that even if these conditions occur, that I get to live a life of thousands and thousands of years, even then I'm not going to have any relation with any person if that person does not get me or marries me by the way my father has willed, right? I am glad this parcel of wooers are so reasonable. I am very happy for their reasoning that they are wanting some other way and they do not want to participate in the lottery. I am very happy about it. For there is not one among them, but I dote on his very absence. That is because, even one of these people I do not like, and I would be glad at their absence. That means if they go away, if they remain absent, I will be very happy. I'll be very glad on their absence. If they want to go, let them go away. I am very happy about their conditions, what condition they have set. Let them go away. I pray God grant them a fair departure. May God grant them a good departure. Let their journey be all, joyful. Let them be happy. I don't have any problem. I just did not want them to marry me. If they are going, fine, let them go. Alankrita, either switch on the video or leave the class. Then Nerissa is saying, do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian? Now, who is this Venetian? This Venetian is Bassanio being talked about, right? So, Nerissa is saying, do you not remember, lady, that in your father's time, that is when your father was alive, a Venetian, a scholar and soldier. About this Venetian, she's saying that he was a scholar and he was a soldier, came hither. Hither means here. Came here in the company of Marquis of Montferrat. So Marquis of Montferrat has once visited Belmont when Portia's father was alive, and Bassanio had come along with this Marquis. And Portia and Nerissa must have seen this man, this Venetian. So Nerissa is asking that, do you remember that Venetian who had come? Yes, yes, it was Bassanio. So see, Portia remembers him very well, even the name. She says that yes, it was Bassanio, as I think he was so called. Now she's just pretending a bit. She's saying that yes, I think he was called Bassanio, right? True, madam. Yes, you are saying the truth. He of all men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon was the best deserving a fair lady. So Nerissa says that truly speaking, of all the men that I have ever seen, my foolish eyes looked upon means that I have ever seen, of all these men, only this man, this Venetian, that is Bassanio, was best deserving a fair lady. All right. So indirectly, she is saying that only he deserves you. Now she very well knows what is in the heart of Portia, right? So she is just saying what Portia wants to listen. All right. So she's saying that I know, do you remember that man? According to me, only that man deserves a fair lady like you. She indirectly means that only he deserves you. All right. That is, only Bassanio deserves Portia. I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. So I remember him very well. I also remember that he is worthy of your praise. That means he is worthy enough to be called so. And by these words, she is indirectly saying that what you are saying is correct. That yes, he is deserving of a fair lady, or indirectly she is indicating that yes, he deserves me. And why is she saying, why is she hinting that? Because she is in love with Bassanio. So she's saying that, yes, I remember him, that he is worthy of your praise. Indirectly, she is saying that he is worthy of, he deserves a good lady, a fair lady like me. So she is hinting that she is interested in Bassanio. How now? What news? So a serving man or a servant has entered, and she is asking that servant that how you've come now, what is what news are you bringing? Servant: the four strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave. Right. So these four, the servant is saying that the four strangers who had come, they take your leave, means they are bidding you farewell. Take their leave means they are bidding you farewell. There is a forerunner come. So a forerunner means messenger. So these four strangers, they want to say farewell. All right. And there is also, there's something else, that is, there is a messenger who has come from a fifth. That is, these four suitors are taking your leave, they are bidding you farewell. And a fifth suitor, that is Prince of Morocco. Prince of Morocco's messenger has come, and he brings a word. Word means he's bringing a message. What message? The prince, his master, shall be here tonight. So the servant has brought two news. One is that these four suitors want to bid farewell and leave, and the other news is that a messenger from a fifth suitor, that is Prince of Morocco. Who is this suitor? Prince of Morocco. He has sent a messenger, and that messenger has given me the message that the prince or his master will be here tonight. That is, by night he is going to arrive. If I could bid fifth welcome with so good heart as I can bid the other four farewell. So she's saying, if only she's wishing that I could, be welcome the fifth one as happily as I'm bidding farewell to these four. All right. That is, she is very happy to bid farewell to these four, but she doesn't want the fifth one to come. She is not happy about his arrival. I should be glad of his approach. I should be glad of his approach, of his coming, if he have the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil. Even if he has the condition of a saint, that means he has all the qualities of a saint. Even if this person who's coming here has all the qualities of a saint, but if he has got the complexion of a devil, complexion means the color of the skin. All right. So, and devil is supposed to be dark skinned. All right. His skin is supposed to be very dark. So if this person who's coming has all the qualities that classify him as a saint, but if he has got a dark skin, I should rather he should shrive me than wive me. Then I can have him as a teacher, I can have him as a guide, but I do not want him to wife me, means make me his wife, marry me. So if even if he has got the qualities of a saint and he is dark skinned, then I don't want all these qualities. If he has all the qualities, very good, he can become my teacher and preach me, teach me, fine. But he should not make me his wife, he should not marry me. Come, now by this we can say that Portia is racial, she is prejudiced. All right, she is practicing racism over here. All right, she is rejecting a dark skinned man. All right. So you can, because this Morocco is a country, is an equatorian country. All right, this country is located near the equator, so people of Morocco are dark complexion, and she knows it very well. All right, she knows it very well, so she's, we can say by these lines that even though this person has see, she's supposing that even if he has the qualities, so such good qualities that he can be called a saint, even then I don't want him to marry me if he is dark complexion. So she is color biased. All right, she does not want to marry a dark complexion man even if he has the qualities of a saint. She's saying that he can become my preacher and preach me, but I do not want him to marry me. Come, Nerissa, Sirrah, go before. Sirrah is saying, she's saying to the servant, go before means go ahead of me. Whilst we shut the gates open upon one wooer, another knocks at the door. So she's telling Nerissa to come along and telling the servant to go ahead of her. And she's saying that while we are shutting the gates upon one suitor, another is knocking at the door. So this line is very important. You can use this line to justify your answer when you write about that suitors were coming all over the place. So you can, if you're talking about Portia's fame, or that suitors, lots of suitors were coming and from all over the world. So you can give this line also to justify your answer, that Portia was shutting the door to one suitor and the other was already present to come. The other was already there wanting to, knocking at the door. That is, the suitors were coming in at every moment. All right, so this completes our scene 2. We will stop here. That is all for this scene.